Hey guys, it's Elias. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new and you like car stuff, be sure to hit the button below to subscribe. Now, if you've been following along on Instagram and on Facebook, you know that it's been a rough few days, maybe weeks here in Pennsylvania. It doesn't stop raining and I don't have a spare garage to work on the cars. Thankfully, just now, the weather cleared for just one day. Looks like it's going to be raining for the rest of the week. So I've updated you guys on the last live update. If you missed it, go and watch. There's a few updates on there. I don't think I'll be able to make it to the first hill climb race, which isn't really a hill climb. So I'm not too upset about it, but you know, we'll get past that. Today, we're going to talk about the Civic Type R and how to lift it. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, for those of you that watch the channel on a consistent basis, do know that I am constantly lifting and lowering the car to put on different wheels, different brake pads. I've bled the brakes. I haven't shown you guys that yet, but I will soon. And I've done quite a lot of things to the Type R where it requires me to lift it. So you know that I've gone through quite a few different iterations of how to properly lift this car. Now, the reason it's kind of tricky to lift this car is because the front end of the car is actually 60% of the weight and the rear end of the car is only 40% of the weight. Now, usually that's not really a big deal, but once you see the front lift point for the Type R and how the designers, where the designers put it, you'll see why it's really a big problem. So here it is. To lift the car up on 4 jack stands, first you do need 4 jack stands, and there they are. I use those are Craftsman. Those are pretty good. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go take a look at them. Ideally, for the Type R, you'd have 2 separate jacks. Now, I know a lot of you guys don't have 2 separate jacks. You guys have 1, and the one you have is not as low profile as this, but that's okay. I'm going to show you guys not the safest way, but the best way to lift the car up on 4 jack stands if you only have 1 jack first, and then I'll show you guys the 2 jack method. Let's go ahead and go over and show you where the lift up points are on this car. So the front driver's side is going to be right there, not to be confused with this over here. This is where your side lip, your side skirt gets mounted up to. Do not lift your car using that. You must use that right there. Now, sliding back to the rear of the car, we're still on the driver's side. Here is the other jack up point for the rear. Again, do not confuse this to be a jack up point. I have heard people by mistake lift the car up using that, and they break some clips back here. It is no good. Make sure you use the proper jack up points for the sides. Now, over to the rear of the car, there's a very nice jack up point, and it's right there. This right here is the proper jack up point for the rear, and it actually lifts both rear wheels up in the air very nicely and very easily. And now here we are in front of the car, and every car should have a front jack up point, and the Type R is no exception. Unfortunately, it is way back there. If you guys see this opening right here, that's not it. It's actually way back there, right at the center of the front. Very difficult for any jack to reach it. And actually, my very long and very low profile jack can't actually reach all the way back there, surprisingly. So how do you get back there? Well, I'll show you guys. Now, before we get started, please use common sense. You know, put wheel chocks where you need them. I use pieces of wood because I live in the woods and that's what I have. Be safe. Don't be dumb about things. Don't get crushed under your Type R. That'd be stupid. You know, hopefully it goes without saying, but you guys are following these safety rules. There's the rear one. After you made sure of that, we can go on the other side and start lifting. I've also put the car in reverse. So if we take a closer look down here, we can see that I've lifted that rear jack up point fairly high. And that's the reason why I really don't recommend this way of doing it. I only recommend that this is the only method of you having to lift the car up on 4 jack stands. It really is the only way. You have to lift that rear up fairly high up in order for the front to come up with it. So now that we have one front jack stand safely secured, we can reach under the car and reach that front mounting point. It's gonna be right there. Once the car is sufficiently up in the air, you get your next jack stand and put it where it belongs. Now, once the front's up in the air, it's as simple as lifting the back and putting the jack stands on. And there you have it, how to lift Type R using that 1 jack method. Now I do prefer the 2 jack method, so let me quickly show you that and show you why it's better. So as you can see, the biggest advantage of a 2 jack method, which by the way I love this newly acquired little 1.5 ton portable jack, link in description in case you want one. The biggest advantage is that you don't have to lift the rear up so high to put a jack stand under the front. Just go ahead and lift the front a little bit so you can fit your low profile jack under the front and get to that front middle jack up point as I showed you before. And it's safer, it's easier, a lot less headache, a lot less to worry about. So if you have 2 jacks, that's a lot better than using 1 jack, but I showed you guys how to do it both ways. So use your discretion as usual, and that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions about this or anything else regarding the Type R, please put it down below. I'll be happy to answer it for you. If you can't reach out to me on YouTube, you can go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram or on Facebook, or my email is realflyingato@gmail.com. Happy to speak to you guys there. And that's it. Thanks for watching again. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.